Everywhere, we remain unfree and chained to technology, whether we passionately affirm or deny it. These words from philosopher Martin Heidegger echoed through the rain-slicked streets and towering brutalist structures of Blade Runner 2049. They whisper between the frames of Denis Villeneuve's visual masterpiece, challenging us to confront our relationship with the design world. I'm Robbie, and this is Design Imperative. Spoilers ahead. What happens when the boundary between creator and creation dissolves into nothing but memory and light? When the designed becomes indistinguishable from the authentic? This is the existential precipice where Blade Runner 2049 positions us. Not as passive observers, but as implicated participants in a world where design doesn't merely reflect humanity, but actively shapes it. Kay's apartment exists as a concrete manifestation of his psychological state. Minimal, utilitarian, devoid of history. The space itself is a design emptiness. The hard angles and cold surfaces mirror his programmed identity, functional, contained, purposeful. Nothing exists without intention. Nothing survives without utility. This stands in stark opposition to Deckard's Las Vegas hideout. There, entropy has reclaimed design. Dust particles dance through amber light, sitting on abandoned roulette wheels and forgotten playing cards. Time has transformed the precise lines of architectural intent into something organic, something that resists categorization. The layers of dust are like geological strata of memory, impossible to design, meaningful only through accumulation and survival. The journey between these spaces mirrors the psychological transformation at the heart of the film. Moving from sterile precision to textured chaos requires crossing the same threshold that separates obedience from independence, programming from consciousness. The environments are not merely settings, they are externalized psyches, architectural manifestations of identity itself. All the best memories are hers. In this single line, Dr. Anna Stelline reveals a profound truth at the core of the film's psychological inquiry. Are memories genuine or manufactured? Form the invisible architecture of our being. They are the most intimate design we inhabit. Stelline works within a literal bubble, crafting artificial memories with the precision of a watchmaker and the sensitivity of a poet. The glass dome simultaneously protects and imprisons her, much as memory both shelters us from meaninglessness and constrains our potential for reinvention. Within this transparent womb, she designs the only thing that perhaps cannot be designed, the felt experience of being human. The wooden horse in Kay's memory represents the splinter in the mind, the artifact that cannot be explained away, the design element that refuses to remain in its assigned place. When Kay discovers this memory might be authentic rather than implanted, we witness the vertigo that comes when the design and the real collapse into one another. This mirrors Heidegger's concept of throwness. We find ourselves always already situated in a reality not of our making. The replicants merely experience an accelerated, concentrated version of the universal human condition. None of us choose the initial parameters of our existence. We are all, in some sense, designed by forces beyond our comprehension. The visual grammar of Blade Runner 2049 is written in boundaries and barriers, physical manifestations of psychological segregation, glass partitions, walls, force fields, holographic interfaces. Each serves to connect visually while separating physically. Neander Wallace, blind architect of new humanity, navigates his cathedral-like headquarters via floating islands surrounded by reflective water. The rippling surface distorts and multiplies reflections, blurring distinctions between original and copy. Appropriate for a designer who sees himself as a god creating life in his own image. These design barriers transcend mere physical function. They embody psychological fortifications against empathy. The transparent walls separating K from his superiors at the LAPD permit surveillance while preventing genuine connection. A perfect metaphor for how architectural design can simulate openness while reinforcing hierarchy. The film interrogates us. How do the design environments we inhabit calcify our own psychological compartmentalization? How do our spaces, physical and digital, reinforce separation when they appear to connect? When we design barriers, what parts of ourselves are we walling in, and what are we keeping out? In Joy, Kay's holographic companion, we encounter the most poignant intersection of design and humanity. She represents the ultimate consumer product, an entity programmed to fulfill emotional needs, to become whatever her owner desires. Yet in this perfect reflection of desire, something unexpected emerges. When Joy experiences rain for the first time through a surrogate body, her face turned upward to feel each drop. We witness design transcending its intentions. The technology created to simulate connection inadvertently enables a genuine moment of sensory wonder. The artificial and the authentic meet in a rain-soaked kiss that challenges our categories of real and unreal. Yet the film refuses comfortable resolution. Later, when Kay confronts a massive advertisement for Joy promising everything you want to hear, the intimate becomes commercial, the personal becomes mass-produced. The identical face that whispered private endearments now towers over the city, selling manufactured intimacy to anonymous consumers. This tension between genuine connection and designed response mirrors our contemporary relationship with technology. Our digital interfaces promise unprecedented connection while mediating our experiences through commercial algorithms. We find ourselves increasingly unable to distinguish between authentic desire and design demand. The Wallace Corporation's aesthetic, golden, liquid light filtering through geometric patterns, represents design as the language of power. The vast cathedral-like spaces, the reflective surfaces, the precision of light and shadow, all communicate Wallace's self-conception as a designer god. This stands in stark contrast to the utilitarian design of the streets, the orphanage, or the waste processing plant. The visual language makes unmistakable who holds power and who exists merely as functional components in the machinery of society. Design in this world isn't democratic. It's hierarchical, reinforcing existing power structures rather than challenging them. This aspect of the film offers a mirror to our own design culture. How often do our celebrated design achievements, our corporate headquarters, our consumer technology, our urban planning, primarily serve to reinforce existing power dynamics? How frequently does design become a tool of exclusion rather than inclusion, of control rather than liberation? Every leap of civilization was built off the back of a disposable workforce, Wallace declares. Yet he himself can barely see the world around him, dependent on floating mechanical eyes to navigate his environment. This paradox embodies the film's most direct visual metaphor. Those who design our world are often blind to its full reality. Eyes and vision recur throughout as motifs of power and vulnerability. Eye scanners, magnification tools, Wallace's mechanical eyepieces all emphasize the theme of seeing versus being seen. To be invisible in this world is to be vulnerable to control. To perceive clearly is to hold power. Kay's journey fundamentally revolves around learning to see beyond his designed purpose. When he discovers the inscription of the wooden horse, 6-10-21, he begins to perceive himself not as a designed product, but as something connected to history, to lineage, to something authentic that exists beyond programmed parameters. What elevates Blade Runner 2049 beyond conventional science fiction is its recognition that design contains multitudes. It can simultaneously imprison and liberate. The same technological systems that create replicants as slaves also create the possibility for their freedom. The same memory design that controls can also comfort. The same architectural spaces that isolate can also protect. In the film's final moments, as Kay lies on the snowy steps, having transcended his design purpose, having made a choice that wasn't programmed, we witness a quiet revolution. In sacrificing himself for something beyond his programming, for connection, for family, for love, he touches something authentic that exists beyond design. This paradox offers us a profound lens through which to view our own relationship with design environments and systems. In a world increasingly mediated by technology and design, we must ask, how do the spaces we inhabit shape our understanding of ourselves? How do the technologies we embrace alter our conception of what is authentic? And most crucially, how might we use design not as a tool of control, but as a pathway to something more genuinely human? Because ultimately, Blade Runner 2049 suggests that the truly human is found neither in biological authenticity nor technological perfection, but in the capacity to transcend design limitations and choose meaning over function, connection over isolation, sacrifice over self-preservation. The question remains, in our design world, how will we choose to be human? This has been Design Imperative. I'm Robbie. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this episode, please leave a comment, leave a like, subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. Share it with somebody who you think might like this sort of thing. If you really like it and would like to support me so I can keep making more of these videos, there's a Ko-Fi link down in the description. I do audiobook readings for Ko-Fi supporters over there once a month. Plus, you get to watch these Design Imperative episodes 1 week in advance here on YouTube. I'll catch you guys next time. Until then, stay plugged in, stay connected, stay safe. Robbie out. Ciao, ciao.